Hello everyone and welcome into 2021. My name is Wisteria Rose and I am the independent author of 2 books, soon to be 3 books, but 2 books, Intro Laconic right here and my debut novel Mythomania right here. I kind of went MIA for the past several weeks on my channel. I was working on finishing my 3rd book, school stuff, finals, just, all that craziness, and I just needed some time. I just needed a break, but now there's a new year and I'm so excited to really achieve my goals and my accomplishments. So 2020 was definitely an interesting year to say the least. There was plenty of good things that happened, plenty of terrible things that happened, and just some things that were just sad or unfortunate, and I'm so glad the year is over and praying that 2021 is better for you, me, and everyone else on this planet, because God knows we need a break after that year. But in today's video, I thought I would just spend some time and talk about what I did manage to achieve in 2020, at least from the point of becoming an author and becoming a writer. And to do that, I decided I was going to do this 2020 takeaway tag. No one tagged me in this. I just came across another author doing it on her channel, and I'll link that video down below for you to watch that if you would like. And I'm going to do it because I thought it'd be a great way to kind of start the new year, and I love doing tags. They're so much fun. My first video on here was a tag, and I invite you, if you're a writer or an author working on becoming any of that, to go and do some tags because they're a super fun way to start. So let's get right into the tag, and then afterwards I'll kind of just speak a little bit about my other thoughts on this year and about my plans for 2021. Question number 1. What creative projects did you work on in 2020? So my first project of 2020 was, of course, publishing my debut novel Mythomania. I can't believe it's almost a year old. That feels so surreal to me. But I planned on, originally I wanted to publish it January 1st, 2020, but I had to push the date back just to deal with some other boring author stuff, and it ended up being January 21st. So I was working on getting Goodreads set up, working on Ingram Spark, which I hate Ingram Spark, doing stuff for Amazon, all that kind of stuff. That was what I was doing for the majority, but besides that, after I published, I took a break, and then around July, I decided I wanted to publish another book that year, around June, and then July I spent beta reading, and then I did editing and all of that so my second book could come out in September. So that's basically what I worked on. I also did some fan fiction projects, writing stories for Tumblr and for fun and stuff like that. So, question number 2. How would your protagonists have reacted to the chaos of 2020? There'll probably be some spoilers ahead, but as for Mythos protagonists, depending on when in the story it was, I would just say, no, entirely. Jaemin would be thrilled, not about, of course, people getting sick and dying or him not being able to work, but the fact that he has to be quarantining with him and his family. He would be over the moon about it. He'd be so excited. Isla would probably grow really, really tired of Jaemin, to be honest. He would not give her any space, and she would be sick of it. As for my sidereal characters, Venus it wouldn't affect her as much as everyone else, I feel like, just because she was already well off and wealthy and spends the majority of her time alone anyway. I feel like if the quarantining and everything had started while she was still going to high school in the States, she would have just switched to online, and it really wouldn't have been that big of a deal for her. Taein would have been devastated because he was an idol. He wouldn't have been able to work and go to concerts and meet and greets and everything. So everyone definitely has a different view on it, to say the least. But yeah, I think it would probably affect Taein the most personally, because he's pretty close to his family and all that sort of stuff. Everyone else is kind of singular. They don't really worry about their families too much, for the reasons in the book. So I would say Taein would be affected the hardest by that. Question number 3. What is a writing lesson you will carry over into 2021? Ooh, I will just say my biggest thing that I learned in 2020 is that beta readers honestly are an essential point to writing and publishing. If you're just writing something for fun or just to like throw up somewhere for people to enjoy and it's not really that big of a deal to you, you can skip betas. But for published books, just the suggestions my betas had for me and for my story helped so much plot-wise. I mean, there were so many things they pointed out that made me think, oh yeah, that name does kind of sound a little weird, or oh yeah, this doesn't really have as much emotion into it as I would like, or oh yeah, you know, whatever else. And their edits helped me so much with the plot and making sure that the story stayed interesting and was continuous and all of that stuff. Of course, they didn't catch everything. That is what a professional editor is for afterwards. But betas, essential. I'm never going to write and publish another book without betas again. Never again. Let's see. Favorite quote you wrote or read this year? Oof, I have to think about it. I'm not sure. This is a question I find so difficult to answer when people ask me like, oh, what's your favorite quote from the year or whatever. I find it so difficult, especially off the top of my head, because it kind of all runs together. But I'll probably say the paper quote. Here's the quote in full for you to read. It's from Intro Laconic, which is my second book, but I really liked that quote and I feel like it has a good insight to Venus as a character. So that was my favorite quote of this year. What's something you did on your channel in 2020 that you're proud of? Just starting it in general. Like, I know I'm not the best at the YouTube channel, and that's not really my goal either. I just wanted to kind of spend more time relating to other authors. I definitely met a lot of people. I've done a couple of streams, and I was really proud about that because I hate kind of being on camera and doing like video chat stuff, just because I feel like it feels very weird to me. But regardless, I did it and I had a blast doing it. I would love to be a part of like more challenges and community things this time around, but I was a newbie, so I'm not gonna be too in my feelings about being excluded from stuff. What ways did you and your channel grow this year? So I hate editing with a passion, and when I mean editing books, editing videos. I don't like editing at all. So I had to learn how to edit and also what I would be willing to do editing wise. Like for these videos, I shoot them on my phone, and I'm using my mom's phone for the questions. And then I also edit them on my phone just because I know I hate editing so much. I was thinking about getting like a camera and a microphone and editing software and all that stuff, but I feel like it would just drain me and I would never want to make videos, because at least doing it this way, I can roll over and do it in my bed and it doesn't feel like quite as much of a chore. And the app I use is pretty easy. I use Villo, I think that's how you pronounce it, VLLO, to do all of my editing, and then I use Canva to make my thumbnails, and that's pretty much it. I had to go and find some copyright free music, but that's pretty much all I do, and I do that for all of my videos. So proud of myself for learning how to do that, even though it's something kind of small. Question number 7. What other channels brought you joy? It doesn't have to be AuthorTube related. Even though it doesn't have to be AuthorTube related, honestly, when it comes to writing, channels that I watch, Jen Moresi, of course, she opened my books. That was very exciting. Sarah Sutton is actually the first person that a writing friend that I made. I have talked to a bunch of other people with channels and people with podcasts and stuff. So I'll try and link as many of my author friends and stuff down for you to watch below in case you're looking for any new ones. And I'm always open to suggestions. If you are an AuthorTuber or you have an AuthorTuber that you like and want to recommend to me, please do. I'm always wanting to find more and learn more about people. New hobbies / interests that you pick up during 2020. Journaling. Journaling is something that I've tried to do on and off again, and by originally I mean like, dear diary, this is how I felt about whatever. But I don't really do that because I find that that's not really the type of journaling that brings me joy, unless I'm feeling like really frustrated or something, I want to scribble my emotions down to kind of process them more. But like K-pop journaling, I'm actually finishing up the BTS 2020 season's greetings diary thing, and I'll post a video about that on my other channel, which will also be linked down below in case you want to watch it. It will be going up a few days after this video, hopefully. But yeah, that was really fun. I really liked just being creative and using a bunch of cool stickers. Like right now my floor is covered in stickers from where I'm desperately trying to finish this journaling, but it just is fun to me, and I like the fact that you preserve memories that way. Like at least with the way I journal, whenever something big happens or there's a photo that I really liked or something, I will journal and make a spread or a page about it. That way, so like 10 or 15 or however many years in the future, I can just flip it open and kind of see what happened this year. Even though this year was a dumpster fire, at least I had fun journaling about it. Question number 9. What would you tell your past January 2020 self to prepare for the year ahead? Sis, do better marketing. Honestly, you should have taken some extra time, pushed that January release date back to like February or even March to learn more about marketing and getting yourself out there and making friends, because that is my biggest regret with my first, that and the editor I chose are my biggest regrets with my first book. And yeah, I feel like I would have done myself a much better service if I had already been part of the author community before I just was like, here's my new book. I did do a pre-sale, and it was something that I talked about a lot on Tumblr because Mytho was originally fan fiction I wrote for Tumblr, and some buzz generated because of that. But I could have really done better with that. But I'm going to try this year. I'm going to try a lot more with marketing and just being more consistent with stuff in general, because I really want my authorhood, my books and my works, and this to maybe take off as a career one day. So that is a goal. And then question number 10. What are 3 positive words you can focus more on in 2020? Productivity, relaxation, and learning. Those are what I'm going to say. I need to be better at being productive, because I'll be like, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to write and sit on my computer and then write some and then get distracted by TikTok, and write some and then get distracted by my friends, or write some and just it gets all over the place for me. And relaxation, I want to be able to feel like I can firmly put school and author and all this stuff down and just spend some time like not doing anything, which is hard for me because I always think, especially about my books and stuff, ideas are always running in my head, and I feel like it'd be nice just to do something that's just like pampering, like really take some more time and do my skincare more often, or, which honestly, not to brag, but like look how nice my skin looks. I'm only wearing I'm not wearing any complexion anything, but I like that stuff I like to do. And then also learning more about marketing and other authors and new technologies you can use, and there's always something new, and I wish I can pick up as much of it as possible. And I think that is all of the questions. Now on to for the tag, now just some of my own personal thoughts about 2020. Obviously, it was an important year for me because if you don't know, I started this year off as a high school senior, so I published 2 books. I graduated high school, I started college, so that's a whole lot of really big things happening all in one year. And it could be kind of overwhelming sometimes, and also just disappointment. I feel like I struggled a lot with those 2 feelings, being like, oh, I managed to publish a book, but, I didn't get as many sales as I wanted, but whatever, or it takes me forever to get reviews or whatever. And then with graduating, I was like, oh, this is my senior year. I didn't get prom. I didn't get a normal graduation. There were no parties with friends. Really, it was just kind of, a lot to lose. And then when I started college, I was originally going to go and live in a dorm, and then go to my classes and stuff. But of course, with COVID, it just made more sense for me and my personal situation to just stay at home and do my classes virtually, which I didn't really struggle with my grades and stuff, but I did kind of struggle with the feeling like I was missing out on something. So there was a lot of disappointment that I had to fight off this year, but I feel like that's the same for everyone. We all lost stuff, and we all, you know, miss spending time with friends and family, and just, it's so weird. Like, even now when I look at movies or photos of myself or just anyone from the past, you know, before COVID, just wow, just like seeing people's faces feels raw. So I'm hoping that this year we will be able to bring a conclusion, or at least significant progress, to this pandemic. That way we can all be safe and happy and healthy and go back to focusing on other things in our lives. And it also just, there was a lot of feeling of regret as well. Like, I bought concert tickets to go see BTS this year as a graduation present, and I didn't get to go, obviously, because they canceled the tour, as they should have. But in 2019 they did do like a repackaged version of the 2018 tour, and I did go to the 2018 tour, but I didn't go to the 2019 tour because I was like, oh, it's just mostly the same songs and stuff. Oof, I regret that. I regret it so much. I wish I would have saved up better and came up with a plan where I would have been able to go, because honestly now I miss them so much. But honestly, I'm gonna say it was not a bad year, all things considered, at least from a writing standpoint. Like, I have a couple of notes about what I accomplished becoming a new author. I'm gonna give you guys some numbers, so you can kind of, I'm not gonna say so you can know what to expect, but that way you at least know what happened to me, because I feel like a lot of people don't really share their numbers. So the numbers I'm about to give you are only from Amazon. My books are available through Ingram as well, but it's much harder to keep up with the amount of books sold and all that sort of stuff because there's so many vendors. And honestly, I know I did not sell that many books on Ingram, so the vast majority of my sales came from Amazon, and I feel like that's the case for almost every indie author. But yeah, so over the course of 2020, and my first book came out at the end of the month, so it was more like 11 months instead of 12, I sold a total of 282 books across both of my books. So not a huge number at all, but just thinking about the fact that, you know, that is a number. There are so many people who never get around to publishing, or who never make that amount of sales at all. So, you know, I'm just trying to take it and be proud of myself for that success, and be like, wow, I did manage to sell these books. And if I put in the Ingram number, it's probably around 290-ish books that I sold, maybe a few more. And then as for royalties, I will also be giving you this number for both of my books combined, even though I definitely sold way more books of Mytho than Laconic, considering like when it came out and everything. Laconic's only been out for a few months at this point. But I made $1,697.40 from royalties, and my biggest like countries I sold to were the United States and, surprisingly, Japan. I don't know why. I would have thought it would have been somewhere more in Europe, since Europe, there are English speaking countries in Europe. I don't know what the deal with that is. I'm not really complaining though. So those are the numbers, at least. Whether or not you consider that successful is up to you, but it does kind of lead towards my 2021 goals. So for 2021, I would love to publish 2 more books. The Sidereal book number 2 should be coming out in April. I'm working with my betas with that right now. So if you would like progress and updates and stuff, please subscribe to my newsletter, which I'll leave the link down below. That way you can know ahead of time with all that stuff. And I would also like to sell twice as many books this year. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but that's my goal. And if I achieve it, great. And if I don't, there's more things to work for. And finally, the last big announcement is, of course, Mythomania is turning a year old in like 20 days, 19 days when this video goes up. And I'm going to hold a super big giveaway for it. So what I will be doing is, there is a document down below, a Google Doc. There is a Google form down below for you to fill out. And basically all you have to do is give me your name and your email, and then a screenshot of your purchase of Mythomania starting from today all the way till the 21st of the month. That way it will count towards the giveaway, and I'll be giving away a list of prizes, including but not limited to, and I will show you some of the prizes at the end of the video, a gift card for Amazon, or a limited edition Dynamite CD, or a fan site doll. I bought one and it's very similar to another one I already bought, so I decided it'd be nice if I gave this one away as a special thank you. This giveaway, there are parameters if, you know, it is international. However, if you are an international person and you win the giveaway, you will be responsible for shipping, so please keep that in mind. At least 25 people must enter this giveaway for me to actually give out the prizes, because otherwise it really wouldn't be a proportional thing on my end. And then you're only allowed to enter the giveaway for one prize, so choose whichever prize you're the most interested in, and all of that, you know, will be down below. There are extra entries if you like subscribe to my newsletter, subscribe to this channel, follow me on my social medias and stuff like that. All that information will be down below, and there will be like a whole post-release week for Mythomania later on this month. So thank you so much for watching this video. I know it's kind of longer than my usual stuff, but yeah, down below please let me know how your 2020 went and what your personal goals for 2021 are, and I will see you next week. Bye bye.